The next morning, the view from the balcony suggests it will be a warm and sunny day ahead of us. We start off the day by crossing 40 kilometers on the asphalt to reach an off-road trail that will lead us to a Byzantine fortress built in the 10th century. On a distant hilltop, we get a sneak peek of what's to come. Some climbing and walking uphill on foot is required for about 1 kilometer. Just 100 meters left of rock climbing and we will be entering one of the best preserved fortresses in the country. Maybe it's because it was built later, in the medieval age, and there we'll be treated with a picturesque 360-degree view of the entire mountain. Let's go! The natural terrain surrounding this fortress provides additional protection. Steep cliffs make it even harder for unwanted visitors to reach the walls and easier to get a vertigo. Alright, maybe this isn't the official entrance, but at least there is a hole through which we can enter. Between the 12th and the 14th century, the fortress frequently changed hands between the Bulgarians and the Byzantines, but the latter held it for most of the time. The height of the surviving walls is up to 10 meters at some places. It was built to protect an important trade route. So, as you might imagine, the view does not disappoint. After taking our time to enjoy the scenery and taking a few photos, we decided to get back to the vehicles. We have a long day ahead of us. It sure looked less scary on the way up. Now, the next destination on our list is another epic Roman fortress, but it's far from here. We're moving through a rarely used track and there are plenty of fallen trees and rocks. In situations like this, a helping hand is always welcome. I have read about another point of interest that we might see along the way, but I wasn't sure that we will find it. Fortunately, the coordinates were correct. Come! Look what I found! Hidden in the woods, an ancient Thracian burial chamber carved in a monolith. Come. It's probably been enclosed on the sides. It has an entrance, and I think there is another chamber here, a smaller one. Data camera. Yep, a double burial chamber hidden just 100 meters from the track with no signs or markings leading here. This is the first burial chamber that I saw when I was coming down the path, carved in this big monolith stone. But what do you know? Right beside it, there is another one here. Let's check it out. Around each of the two rock-cut tombs there are drains directing the rainwater away from the opening. These findings came as a nice surprise. But we've got a fortress to reach, so let's go on. When facing deep ruts, it's best to stay on top of them. And to be able to do that, you need a spotter out front. The Jeep is following our lead with no problems. I would say a bit to the left there. It's getting muddy, and I'm wondering if the rear-wheel drive will be enough for the Jeep. Remember, he lost the four-wheel drive in the last episode. No worries with these muddies. We still need to descend further down the track, and we need to stay focused. Just stay away from that rut, mate. Nicely done. this pretty much wraps up the more technical section of the track. At least until we reach the final hill that needs to be conquered to reach the fort. We're closing in, approaching the south gate. You know, the best thing about these ancient forts is, even if there is not much left to see, they are always built on the most incredible, scenic spots. So this is Monek, one of the well-known forts in the Rhodope mountains, and it is actually Bulgarian, not Roman this time. The name appears for the first time in the chronicles of the Third Crusade, so it was probably built in the 13th century. The walls guarding the perimeter are 270 meters long and up to 8 meters high. By the way, try to remember that rope bridge. You will be seeing it again in another video. Right in front of the walls, there is a 300-meter drop down to the lake. Since we are in this region, I reckon we should stop by the Stone Wedding. This is a natural rock phenomenon, and its formation commenced 40 million years ago. Back then, this place was at the bottom of a shallow sea plagued by continuous volcanic activity. With a bit of imagination, you can see the rocks resemble a gathering of people. And there are the bride and groom. Before following the main road back home, there is one more place I would like to visit. This fort has a direct visual link with the one we have just been to on the other side of the lake. It carries the name Visegrad, or in direct translation, the High City. The history of this place dates back to the late antiquity and the medieval period. The walls are conventional, made of unshaped stones that are fused together and are about 2 meters thick. The goal of our visit here is not archaeological though. It is to mark the end of our trip with one final vista and enjoy the sunset. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and consider supporting the channel on Patreon. There is a link in the description. Take care.